So let's start from the beginning, right? This is the 5 pillars of reversing type 2 diabetes. Today, by the end of our opportunity together, you're going to get a couple things. One, understanding that reversing type 2 diabetes is possible. Second thing is how you can achieve it. It's one thing to like hear somebody like you saw my ad and stuff, and you're like, is that for real, right? And then once you realize it is for real, the next step is how. And I'm excited to share that today. And then the last thing, I'm excited to share our program to be able to help you obtain that and achieve that. If you stay to the end, and I got a little some holiday recipes for you, some snacks that are there to help promote and produce reversing type 2 diabetes. Okay. We don't reverse type 2 diabetes in a day. I'm sure you know that. I have helped many individuals work towards and achieve type 2 diabetes reversal. And it's been my honor, and it's exciting to see that life come into them. Today, we're just going to start reversing that diabetes journey. Okay. So I wasn't always a doctor in high school, a typical standard American kid eating the standard American diet. I wasn't always into that health, but I really enjoyed science. Um, and as I progressed, I then went to college, and I then started to date my girlfriend, now wife. And she was recently diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which is a diabetes that can't be reversed. And so, I kind of learned a little bit about it. And one day we were eating some barbecue ribs, and she's like, "Hey, Michael, do you want to give me my insulin shot?" And I was like, "Well, I've never done that before. This is kind of like different and new." And I ended up doing it. And later, as we started dating, she started to have some real big swings in her blood sugar, as happens, especially when you're dependent on insulin. And one of these days, she was just like exhausted and just absolutely, absolutely tired and fed up with it. And she looked at me and she said, "Michael, why would anyone allow themselves to get to this point if they could prevent it?" And that hit me. And I was like, could they prevent needing insulin, right? Could this be stopped early? Well, I decided to go into medicine and become a doctor. And while in medical school, I saw a lot of the complications of type 2 diabetes. Okay. Heart attacks, amputations, strokes, kidney failure. And it was shocking to be with these individuals in the hospital at these times. And I remember rounding one day after we had performed an amputation, and the surgeon turned to me and he's like, "Henderson, we just know that there are certain things these individuals can do, and it would have never got to this point." And I was like, really, like something a lot earlier. And I just kind of kept thinking, like, what could I do? How could I help them? The surgeon had chosen to become a surgeon, and I was still like, could choose what kind of doc I was going to be. I was like, what would that be like to help somebody before these complications set in, and then be able to help them not have those complications? So as I continued through my medical school and training, I had a breakthrough moment, okay? Because I kept asking myself this question: how can I prevent this in this current model of healthcare? And I saw that if individuals improve certain very specific lifestyle practices, that they can have their diabetes improved and even start reversing. And so I learned how to take a little more time with patients. I started to learn a lot more about this because in medical school, you're not taught about reversing type 2 diabetes. You're taught about the different classes of medicine, right? We're doctors of medicine, different classes of medicine and how it helps, what parts of the body are affected by type 2 diabetes. They don't talk about reversal. And unfortunately, even medical school, they don't talk about a lot about nutrition. A lot in medical school is, hey, here's some nutrient deficiencies and how to prevent them, but not how to use lifestyle and food to reverse chronic conditions. And so I just studied this a ton. And as I learned about lifestyle improvement, my patients started improving their chronic health with heart conditions, blood pressure, cholesterol. and diabetes. And then I was able to start de-prescribing medications, which was super exciting for me. And for them, most importantly, right? They're like, what? You got to take me off some of these meds? I was like, absolutely, you're crushing it. And so it was really fun to see how motivated they were. And they kept asking, hey, Henderson, can you give me more of this information? Can you give me more of the stuff that you're teaching me, each one of these appointments? I'm really enjoying this. And I was able to start giving it to them. And yet in the current model of medicine, and you know this, I'm sure, is there's not a lot of time with your doc, right? For there to be actual time where they say, what matters most to you? What aspect of lifestyle do you want to tweak or improve this week or this month? How often are you asked that? Not very often, right? So I curated and continued to refine this program so I could dispense this in a way and give this in such a way that it can be achievable. So what is the definition of type 2 diabetes reversal or remission? The American Diabetes Association says it's an A1C less than 6.5 for 3 months without medications. That's it. That's it. Okay. And there's a American College of Lifestyle Medicine, which I absolutely love. Went to their conference a couple months ago, and they share that remission should always be the primary goal of type 2 diabetes treatment. Okay. As soon as someone's diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, the treatment is towards remission or reversal. Those are two terms that are used together. I think most individuals know reversal, but in the medical literature, it's usually remission. So I love this, right? And I'd love to hear from you. Drop it in the Q&A. Does that sound exciting to you? Actually reversing your type 2 diabetes, actually being able to go without medications and have an A1C less than 6.5, and those side effects, I don't have to worry about those. All right. So I'm going to go now through three secrets of reversing type 2 diabetes, what people say, and then the literature and data and experience. So number one, individuals say, this is permanent. This is lifelong. I can't reverse this. I love what you're saying, Angel. I wish I could hear you, and I think it would be like so fun, right? I can get your Q&As immediately. So just keep on typing in there. We're going to keep having it be interactive, and it's almost as close as chatting. And thank you so much. This is great you're here. So individuals say, hey, diabetes is lifelong. Like there's no way that I can, reverse this. I haven't heard of this before. Other people say I'm too old to make a change that will improve my diabetes. Well, little shocker. The first two patients and individuals that I helped reverse diabetes were greater than 60 years old. And it was so fun because one of them I shared, I was like, well, your A1C is getting high enough that it's time to now consider insulin. And she's like, whoa, like stop there, Henderson. I am not taking insulin. I was like, do you want to reverse this? She's like, absolutely. I was like, let's do this. So then we were able to then apply the specific lifestyles that she wanted that fit her current time in life. And she was able to have it work towards and get towards remission. And it was so fun for her. She had some other amazing benefits that happened as she used this lifestyle. And then the other patient, she decided to become like a connoisseur of food and just like built basically her own cookbook and totally ran with this and also worked towards and was working towards reversal. And it was just like so fun for them to see, look, you're not too old. That's hogwash. That is not true if you think you're too old to learn these new tricks. And it's so fun to see the body just totally respond to it. Okay. So I'm going to share some stories here. First of all, let me go back to this other slide. So one of the reasons some of the doctors say it can't be reversed is one, their own experience, and two is a study that was done in California. They took like over 100,000 people and they watched them for like over 6 months, and they said, who is having type 2 diabetes reversed? And they looked at it and they said, this is 1.5%. This is way low. And one year of the study, more people were dying than having their diabetes reversed. So they're like, this is showing us this can't be reversed. You need to understand the study. The study showed that the intervention, or what these individuals were doing, was the standard American diabetes care. And you and I both know what that is, where it's like, oh, you have diabetes, your A1C is going up, look like we need more meds. Oh, by the way, some docs say eat less carbs. Don't get me off on that. Some docs say, yeah, just eat less and move more. Or here's a handout, or one time with a diabetic educator. And it's like, is that enough? Right? Like, it's not. And that's what that study showed, is that less than 2% were obtaining type 2 diabetes remission. So yeah, I hear you, right? Been there. It's like, I get it, right? It's like, and it's sad, but that's the system we live in right now. Doctors have great intentions, and yes, I am a doctor, and I have a ton of friends, and it's like that our doctors, they have good intentions, they want the best for their patients. That's why we went in medicine. But we also work for an insurance company, and we also have time restraints, and it's a lot of work to, pack up, get ready, go to the doctor. And it's a really thick system that has a lot of like webbing and networking. And it's like, how do we work through all this to streamline and get remission, to get reversal? And that's what we're working towards. Okay. So that's secret one. And so let me share some other studies. There's another one, a direct trial, where they worked with specific types of food, and how much of it, and almost half of the individuals obtained remission. Okay. Almost half of them obtained remission after 1 full year. There was another study in the east part of the world, and they coupled food with exercise, and 61% of them obtained reversal. And we're talking no meds, A1C less than 6.5, more than half of the individuals. And that's the trick, is to know what specific lifestyle you need to do, and how to apply that. They did find some other things that were great in the study that I would like to share. And that is those that were most likely to obtain a reversal or remission, I use that synonymously or together, are those that work towards lifestyle improvement early in their disease course, those that aren't on insulin, those when they were diagnosed, their A1C wasn't super high. And I even have some individuals that have significant improvement, even if they don't fit within those categories. Okay. So that was some other things they found from that study. Number 2, secret. This is beyond medications. So some individuals say medication is the only way to manage type 2 diabetes. Others may say genetics determine my diabetes fate. My mother had diabetes and she had amputations. My grandpa had diabetes, he had a heart attack. It's just the way things are. But think about it just a little bit. Like, where did we learn what it looks like to move, to exercise? Usually our family. Okay. Where do we learn how to cook, how to eat? Usually our family. Where do we learn how to address stress and what to do when we feel stressed? Usually our family. So I like this. I like this question. So save this question, and we're going to come back to this at the end, because that's a deep question. And if that's all right with you, I like this. So going back to like genetics and your family fate, that there are so much of this is not genetic. And that's what's exciting to individuals, as they learn that they can improve these things. The American College of Lifestyle Medicine shares that over 90% of chronic conditions can be reversed or prevented with lifestyle. And that even includes cancer. So that's exciting. I'm excited to come back to your questions. So thank you for your patience. So what are the 5 things, and I'm going to kind of share this, and I know this is a lot going through everyone's mind, is like, hey, what can I do? How do I need to live? What do I need to change? And so these are the 5 pillars that we work with in our program: exercise, relationships, food, sleep, and mindset. And there are specific nuances within that and specific strengths that can be applied for certain individuals. So that is one of the ways that we do that, and we break the family chain of complications of diabetes. So, question here, number 3, a lot of people say, hey, this is going to require extreme dietary restrictions. Have you ever been looking at a plate of food that you made in an attempt to improve health and felt like this individual? You're like, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to eat this. Like, what is this? And why would anyone recommend me eat this, right? So the approach and breaking this, this expectation of extreme dietary restriction is balance, okay? And small incremental changes over time, and exciting change that when you're able to recognize it and appreciate it, it renews you and rejuvenates you, and then you see improvement. So it's finding this enjoyable approach. And I'm gonna share a little story about my buddy Jeff. Okay, so I was in medical school, and I was working out at the YMCA, and I saw this guy up there, and he was on the stair stepper, just plugging along, and all of a sudden, hands go up, and he just starts praising, closing his eyes on the stair stepper, and just rolling, right? And he just, I was like looking at it, I was like, I gotta meet that guy. That guy seems so cool. So I met Jeff, and Jeff's been going to the gym for years, super happy, gregarious. And when he learned that I was in medical school, he started telling me some of the things that he's working towards, and he had type 2 diabetes that he was working on. And he was having the standard American diabetes care or management, okay? And never really said like it was really improving, that nothing was really changing for him or improving for him. Good for him, he was still working out. And one day, now I'd finished residency, I'd left, we stayed in touch, but he wouldn't really talk about type 2 diabetes much. He then called me while I was in practice, and he's like, Mike, he's like, you got to help me. It's like, what's up, Jeff? He's like, my doc wants to put me on insulin. I was like, I'm super sorry. Tell me more. And he just started kind of telling me what had happened. He hadn't really done much different than it was before, but his diabetes kept getting worse. So I said, Jeff, I would love to help you. And I started teaching him specific things he can do, and he ran with it, and he got excited about it. And he excitedly called me the other day, and he's like, hey, Mike, I don't need insulin. Thank you so much. And I'm going to continue this. And we had awesome chats about it. And it was super fun to hear his experiences. And then he called me the other day, and he's like, Mike, I need to know if I need to talk to my doctor. And I was like, all right, well, if you think you need to talk to your doctor, you probably should call him. But he said, I stopped working nights, and now I'm being able to sleep, and my numbers are getting better and better, but I'm wondering if it's too low. I was like, all right, this is great talking with you. How about you call your doc? Might be time to go start decreasing some medications. How about you work with him to do that? And so what I like about that is Jeff had applied one aspect, and there were some other lifestyle things he wasn't. But as time continued to going, he then was able to apply it, get better sleep, and improve his sleep routine and hygiene, and his diabetes continued to improve. Okay. So he and I keep contact, and it'd be super fun to bring him on one day in one of our group sessions. So I don't know how you feel right now. Some of you may feel like this, a little mind blown. Kind of may feel like that's a lot of information. Or you may be thinking, all right, Henderson, you keep saying all this lifestyle stuff. Like, is it just diet and exercise? It is so much more. And that's what I'm excited to explain, how this is a different program than others and our basis and our foundation. Okay. So I have a question. If you had a way of helping you obtain type 2 diabetes reversal and sustain it, would you be okay if we continue this conversation? May we continue to move forward with how that could happen. Okay. Do you mind if I show you the opportunity we have for you? Okay. You can just drop that down in the chat. You can raise your hand. You can drop emojis, whatever you'd like to do. So I'm going to introduce you to the 5 pillars, the 5 pillars of Reversing Diabetes program. So number 1 is we provide a comprehensive personalized support, personalized coaching sessions. We have a certified health coach, Laura. She is absolutely incredible. When I was hiring her on, I asked her, I was like, hey, coach me. And immediately I was brought into like this Zen state, and I was like, this is so cool. And I feel heard, I feel appreciated, I feel like I can achieve things. And I was like, you are completely a person for the job. So there is personalized coaching sessions, multiple live Q&As as we go throughout this. It's a 6-month program, and there's a close-knit group. I could have created a huge program with hundreds of people in it, very, very, very low cost, yet there's a personalized approach that comes that develops a lot more success and helps you feel heard, helps you know how you can achieve things and see it realistically. Okay. $800 value. And there are some individuals that say, I can't right now. I gotta wait. There's excuses, and there is no shortage of excuses on this earth. And so it's kind of a choice between health or excuses. And excuses are super easy to find. And I get it, right? Life does happen. Except, like I talked about, with those that have the highest likelihood of attaining type 2 diabetes reversal, is the sooner we act, the sooner and higher chance we have of getting it reversed. In the modern world, there's convenience all over the place, right? And so it's kind of no wonder that there's 1 in 10 individuals in the US have type 2 diabetes. Things are so easy and convenient right now. And a lot of individuals can make excuses for not prioritizing their health. So I encourage you and invite you to choose health as opposed to and instead of excuses, because as you invest in your health and your life, you will be able to have choices that will then be able to help you reverse your type 2 diabetes. Let's go through some other values. So reminder again, a comprehensive personalized support. Second is interactive and dynamic learning experiences. What does this mean? We have fun and engaging learning journey. Okay. I hate lectures. I really do. They're like so boring. I love when they're double or triple speed, and also when they're fun and they're interactive. And that's what we get to do in our courses. Also, you're going to have access to an exclusive private Facebook group. Excited for you for this. So investing, okay? So investing in timeless health. And an individual gets a paycheck usually about every 2 weeks. That just happens time after time, right? Whereas when you miss that game of your daughter, you miss that graduation of a grandchild, you don't get that back. You don't. And when you miss that opportunity because of time and you don't get it back, you ask yourself, what if I could have invested some of that money for improved health? And then I'm going to be able to have that time, that rich, rich time. So that's investing a resource that is easily lost, that's easily or is renewed, such as money, and putting that towards health that then helps you expunge and get the most out of time. Okay, so let's redirect your resources into building a healthier, more fulfilling life, free from the constraints of diabetes. So more value, personalized support, dynamic learning experiences, and lifetime access to these lectures, and then frequent group coaching, where myself and Laura and others will be able to help you as a team, as a small knit, close-knit team, to continue to apply and practice these lifestyle changes. And that's pretty fun, those group sessions where it's like, bro, how are you doing that? I want to learn what you're doing, and other people are doing cool things, or other people are doing not doing things. You're like, I totally hear you, and you just get to bounce off ideas off each other and feed positivity and assistance from each other. So again, the future starts today, right? And what is the one thing you can control? You can control what you're doing right now. And as you make decisions that better and more in alignment with what you really want, then your tomorrows become better. Okay? If you're here, it's because you yearn for something more than the daily struggle with diabetes. You're a go-getter. Like, that's why you've signed up for this webinar and you get to watch the recordings, because you want more for your type 2 diabetes. And I'm here to guide you on this new path and to help you become the hero of your health journey. The choice is yours. It starts today. More value, personalized support, dynamic learning, lifetime access, frequent group coaching, a health enhancement toolkit. You're going to have additional resources and opportunities. Oh, hey, what's up? Welcome back, Angel. So happy to have you. Yeah, you want to, okay. So I'm going to review them in each one of these slides, and you're going to see it, the value stacking up, okay? So, and these are not the prices, this is the value. This is what these things would cost if you were to get them from other places, okay? So happy to have you back. So also we're going to be providing with a health enhancement toolkit for you, where goal setting, tracking resource, trend tracking resource, AI integration. AI is so cool and can help further cater lifestyle recommendations to individuals. So there's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and in it, the author discusses, he kind of groups to individuals into those that are able to continue to grow their finances and seem to continue to make more money, and those that seem to get in a rut where it's like they make some money, but they just can't really grow it. And they found that some of their purchasing decisions influence this. Individuals that are able to have their money grow would invest in themselves and invest in these assets, meaning these are things that continue to improve over time. For instance, health, education, including books and other resources, relationships, investing in other investments like real estate, or investing in the stock market, those kinds of things. And they were able to grow. Whereas individuals that seem to just not be able to get out of that and really grow their money were purchasing liabilities, things that the more they purchased, the less they had of it, or it became corruptible easy. Think of cars, think of pleasure food, think of entertainment, think of expensive hobbies. Not saying those things are bad, but it's when you invest in certain assets that grow your health, that grow your net worth, that grow your relationships, and that grow real true value, that's when you start growing. And that's how it works with this type 2 diabetes reversal. This is an opportunity to invest in yourself and to grow in an asset and no longer a liability. Having type 2 diabetes not reversed becomes a liability. You become holden to ill health, high blood sugars, feeling crappy, multiple doctor visits, then the side effects, and that's a liability. So you can see the difference, right? So running out of room for this value, but we're going to keep going, all right? So personalized support, interactive learning, lifetime access to the lessons, group coaching, health enhancement toolkit, long-term health and financial benefits. Think about this on the long term, right? And even the short term, right? Like weight loss. How cool is that? How much do people pay for weight loss? They're thousands of dollars a month at times because it's so sought after. Well, in this program, there's individuals, like I told you, those individuals that have worked on reversing diabetes, and many others are like, I'm down 5 pounds. Like, I wasn't even trying. I don't feel like I'm restricting my food, and I'm really enjoying this. So weight loss, increased energy, improved sleep, less risks of type 2 diabetes. And I've talked to you about these frequently throughout this webinar today, and you're very well aware of them. Diabetic retinopathy, blindness, strokes, heart attack, other heart diseases and other vascular diseases, kidney disease, being on end-stage renal disease and being on dialysis, neuropathy, inability to feel your feet, unhealed wounds. Think about if you reverse type 2 diabetes, these things are so far in the future, sometimes they don't even happen. Usually, if you reverse type 2 diabetes, we're not even talking about these complications. And then financial gain. There's this awesome study, the CHIP study, that found that individuals that reverse their diabetes or that have improved diabetes management are more valuable to their employers. More importantly, they're more valuable to their family and themselves. So all this value in this program, okay? And I'm sure you've been a part of other webinars. There's a lot. There's other webinars out there. There's other great programs out there. Okay, I know a lot of the other individuals that run them. And sometimes we watch these webinars. We're like, oh, it's pretty cool. Sounds like a good idea. Scratch that, right? Or maybe tomorrow, or maybe next week. And when we don't decide, we decide. Today's the time to break that cycle. By joining our course, you're not just learning, you're actively fighting against diabetes. This is your moment. Let's invest in yourself. Let's do this, okay? So would it be worth it? That's the question I have to you tonight, right now. If all this program did, let's say it's $10,000, okay? And you buy that. And if it finally helps you get your A1C down without using more meds, would it be worth that? Another question. If all this did, and you paid that much, and it helps you gain one more year of life to be with those you love, would that be worth it? Can you even put a price tag on that, right? Like, look at your son or your loved one, even your grandparents or your buddies that you love hanging out with, or your friends. It's like, what, to be with them another year and cherish that year? I have a friend that has pancreatic cancer, and the distress that's causing on the family. And just to imagine if that individual could have right now one more year of life, what would they give for that? I'm sure, I know what they're trying to give right now, and it's so much. But if you could give just one more year, have one more year, it is. You're so right. Health is so priceless. And that's where it's so difficult to like monetize on it. But it's like so valuable, and I'm passionate to help people have health because it's so valuable. All right. So the other question is, if all this program did was gave you tools to more deeply enjoy each day, to feel more peace, to feel more personal accomplishment and connect with nature and others, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it? So here's my invitation, okay? My invitation is, let's chat. I have a link that I'm going to drop in the Q&A for you, and I'm going to include it in the replay, okay, of this webinar. And it is a simple link where it will look like this. It's a 30-minute discovery call with me, one-on-one video, and where we're going to be able to talk. And I'm going to be able to learn about your story and learn about what matters most to you, and learn why you want to reverse your type 2 diabetes, and also to see if this program is right for you. So you'll click on a time, and then after you click on the time, it will give you this page, which you'll just put in your name and your email, and then I'm going to be in connection with you and have a couple more of the questions before we sign up. Okay. So let me get this link right now. I'm going to stop sharing real quick. I'm going to go grab this link, and I'm going to put it in the Q&A for you, so you can be the first one to sign up. All right. And as you sign up, If it takes you out of this webinar, stay on, because I'm going to answer a couple common questions, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. We can just kind of chat back and forth. So here we go. I'm going to get this link and let's drop this in the Q&A. All right. No, the program is not $10,000. And we're going to talk about that together during that, during the discovery session. So there's the link for the discovery session. Okay. And again, the value is, did you get that? Tell me if that link worked. Yeah, it shows. There we go. It answered to, okay, I see. It answered your question, health is priceless, and it answered, is the program, that value dollar amount that I shared. Okay, so that's the link. Let's go through a couple other things of kind of what this, just the common questions that I get about this program, to try to answer some of these questions in advance. Okay, so that's the screen that you'll get. Okay, so did I miss anything? There's some questions. So are there any guarantees, right? Like, hey, can you promise me that my type 2 diabetes is reversed? Well, absolutely not. Like, there's no way. Okay, because each body is different and each one will respond different ways. And sometimes we're surprised with a certain lifestyle aspect that we hit up. And it's like, awesome. I even had a patient today, and they actually got frustrated and were like, hey, you didn't say anything about my weight yet. And I'm like, forgive me. I scrolled down and they had lost 30 pounds. And that individual had been bottling up a lot of things in their marriage relationship and had been able to start resolving that. And that stress reduction for that patient had helped significantly allow him to not build up the cortisol, which is a hormone that's released that helps you retain weight. And it helped him sleep better and feel better. And he's like, I feel so good right now. And that was a pretty drastic example, but it's to show that there's specific lifestyle things that can change. And sometimes we're surprised and like, look, that was your ticket. And that's super helpful for you. And we're able to go through so many of those. We're able to find them. Again, no guarantees, okay? Some people ask me, hey, can you be my doctor as I go throughout this program? And unfortunately, I cannot. I am a coach in this program. So I'm never providing specific medical advice. And we always recommend that you closely stay with your doctor throughout this program. And we'll have resources that you can provide them to help share with them like what we're doing, what you're going to be doing, so they can deprescribe medications at a certain rate. You can be in close contact. It's nice. It's kind of like you have the best of both worlds. I am a doctor and I can be able to educate and share coaching principles, and you have your personal doctor. You're able to stay in close contact. They know you super well. And so it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Another question, I kind of already answered it. Should my doctor know I'm taking this program? Absolutely, right? And so I'll answer that question as we get to the end. I like it. Keep bringing the questions in. So the other one is, can my spouse join? Absolutely. If they're just going to join to support you, then it's free for them. If they have type 2 diabetes or they want to start improving their lifestyle in these ways, then we offer 50% off for them to join too. It's so helpful to have someone in the program with you. If you don't, that's fine. You get in your close-knit group quick. But some people have friends and family. So yeah, here we go. Can your friend join? Absolutely. Same thing for friends. And it's free if they're just supporting you, and 50% off if they want to actually be a part of it. Meal plan. Is there going to be a meal plan? Absolutely. And this is what's so fun about it, is not only do we provide meal plans, but we teach individuals how to cook, and we have cooking stuff that we go through and demonstrations and skills. It's really fun. We can take the individual that barely knows how to make mac and cheese and help them create a delicious meal that they're like, are you kidding me? That's so cool. So there's a question there. Another question, can I still eat meat? Okay. This is not a keto low carb program. And there's a lot of science that goes behind that. And I'm creating YouTube videos and answering these on social media. But basically the keto diet and carnivorous diet improves diabetes numbers, but it doesn't improve the pancreas. And so anyway, going back to this question, can I still eat meat? Absolutely. If you love meat and you still want to eat meat, absolutely. But what's kind of cool is like the common American eats up to over 200 pounds of meat per year. That is a lot of meat. Okay. So if you just decrease meat by 1 pound per week for 4 years, that's 200 pounds of meat you've decreased that is helpful for reversing type 2 diabetes. So again, balance, small incremental changes, helping you through this so it's sustainable and it's not this sprint, get exhausted, hate this, and not want to continue it. That we're here for you. We want this for your life. Okay. Another question, some people are gunners and they just like crush this program and they do want to move on. You can do this in practice and other lifestyle things that you want to improve. Absolutely. We've got resources for you. But as far as lectures specifically, we keep those dripped out. Okay. So I am just like so grateful for you, Angel. Like, and so grateful you've been here. And also for other individuals as you're watching this on replay, so happy that you're here and you're taking precious time on a very precious month to invest in your health. This shows that you care. You care. You want to improve something. You want to improve your type 2 diabetes because you're sick of it and you're sick of what it's doing to your health, family, finances. This is your opportunity to reverse it. Okay. So I'm going to start answering your questions a little bit. Again, pricing, we get to talk about that in our discovery call. And I am so excited to meet you, okay, through that discovery call. You got those links. Let me know if you need me to send them in any other kind of way. I'll also resend them in the, I'll also send them on the webinar replay. I'll be sending it out really soon. So your question, is this your program or only a coach? Could you elaborate that question just a little bit more? I'll try to answer it the best I can until maybe you share a little bit more. Yes, I will totally email you the link. Absolutely. So I'm a physician and I work in the clinic and help individuals like day in, day out and bill insurance, all that jazz. And as an aside, I'm also have this program where I coach individuals and we have all these resources and integrations and programs and small groups to be able to help individuals reverse their type 2 diabetes. Right now, the name of the program is the 5 Pillars for Reversing Diabetes. That is the program. And you can find that specifically on my website. But right now, again, to get in, you need to first have that discovery call. And that's where I'm just totally excited for you to click on that link that I provided you, that I will email you, that's in the chat, Q&A, it's in the Q&A, and that you're going to be able to book that discovery call. Let me know if you have any other questions. I just dropped that down in the webinar chat as well for that link. But I am like so excited just to meet you, to work together through this. And I think what's really cool too about this whole program is like when individuals meet with their physician and stuff, like, you know, a little bit, but it's like when you're in a coaching program, there's so much opportunity for so much more like getting to know each other and being together and really being able to like help this like weave throughout your life. It's so cool. And you got to be able to be part of it. So, all right, hearing a lot about the cell and inflammation. What do you think about that? And when you say the cell, these are great questions, and I'm happy to take some time to answer these. When you say the cell, are you talking about the pancreatic cell, particularly the beta cell that produces insulin? Insurance. Hearing a lot about the cell and inflammation. Insurance. Not quite sure about that. About the question. If you could word it a little differently, that'd be super helpful. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the pancreatic cell, if that's a little what you're talking about, and the inflammation. So our pancreas, I'm going to actually go back to this picture that kind of shows it because I like the way it's depicted. So this is your pancreas, right? Imagine each one of those little circles as like a bubble, okay? And that produces insulin. Okay, yeah, I'll get back to that. Okay, so let's finish this question. So with these bubbles, they produce insulin, which we need to use the sugar that we eat in its variety of or varying forms. By the time you're diagnosed with prediabetes, many of these bubbles are popped. And if we've killed off part of our pancreas and you can't produce insulin from those cells anymore. So we need to preserve the cells we have left. And that's why in those studies, sometimes they show that the earlier we catch type 2 diabetes, the earlier we change our lifestyle, the better chance we have of reversing it. So we preserve that pancreas. As far as inflammation, absolutely. There is inflammation that is shown, and actually there's it's called a cytotoxic effect from fat. When fat develops in the pancreas, the fat actually kills off some of those cells. And so it's pretty exciting that as we adjust how we eat and we decrease that fat content in the pancreas, it's kind of like massaging it and saying, hey, buddy, you can get back to work and we're okay. We're going to preserve you and help. So anyway, next question you've got, do I take insurance? No, this is cash pay. And the reason being is with the insurance model, the individual that takes insurance is working for the insurance company then. Does that make sense? Because the insurance company pays them. And it's this weird convoluted thing where they take some of the money and it just thickens the whole system. Whereas I work for you. I'm your coach. I'm your educator. And so you pay me directly. And that way, that's why we don't take insurance. And that's also, we can keep the prices way lower because we don't have to, like get a biller and charge and hire all the other people to do all this convoluted, thick stuff. I know insurance helps and it does have its place. Yet for this lifestyle coaching specific program, we don't take insurance. So if there's any other questions, email them to me. I'm super happy to answer them. Again, a deep and heartfelt thank you. It's people like you that motivate other people. You're inspiring tonight. I'm talking to you right now, Angel. You're inspiring tonight. Okay. There's been other times I've done webinars, and at times it doesn't work. And it's exhausting, right? Preparing all these slides and stuff, but it's not about me, it's about you. And you inspired me. And I'm getting chills right now just because that's how this program works, is individuals like you that know how to inspire, know how to encourage, know how to laugh, make a joke, and also how to work. That's how we get a close-knit group, and that's how we get a change group. And I want you a part of this program. And I want you to book a discovery call, because I want to meet you even more than what we did today, and that we can be able to look and we can do this together, because it takes more than one. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm super excited to stay in contact. I'll send that email out, and I'm going to send a copy of the replay, and let's do this thing. You ready for this? Let's do this. Okay. Let's get diabetes, your type 2 diabetes, reversed. Let's do this. I know we can do it.